So hey guys, take a look. This is the latest property that we purchased. This is actually about a block and a half away from the beach. And this thing is a cash flow monster. Remember that word, cash flow. All right, so here we are. The beach is down here. So it's about a 2-minute walk to the beach. I don't know if you can see it down there, but this is the property. 3 floors, 3 stories, right? With some palm trees out here. We're gonna come in and kind of change this whole area up a little bit. Give it a fun, playful vibe. Get rid of some of this stuff. Change out some of the outdoor furnishing that's here. I'm gonna take you inside. I'm gonna call the elevator. There's the elevator button here. This thing has a pretty cool elevator in here. Listen, if you're worried about cash flow, is going to be your solution to a lot of problems. I'll tell you. You know, it's going to be your solution to inflation. It's going to be your solution to the cost of goods and produce going up. It's going to be your solution to the cost of meats going up. If you're worried about how are you going to really continue to live at the same or better quality of life that you live now, you know, cash flow is one of those answers. And you get cash flow in so many different ways. The number one way, my most preferred way, is by selling digital assets, digital property, digital real estate. All right, so if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I'm a big advocate of pushing Kindle books because you can get started really quickly. You can get started with very little money, and it creates amazing streams of cash flow. Streams that you can come in and then reinvest into property like this, so that not only do you have a digital property that's creating cash flow for you, but you also have a physical property like this. This, my wife has the elevator door open upstairs, I can guarantee you. But you also have physical property like this that not only generates the cash flow for you, but also gives you equity, right? So we're gonna go through the front door. Gives you equity, and also gives you something to pass down to your kids, right? So it gives you something to pass down so that you have, generational wealth building processes in place. And so super important. Cash flow, equity, and being able to pass it down so that you have wealth building, generational income processes in place. Right? So I need 2 hands. I'm gonna put the camera down here. 2 hands to open this bad boy. All right, there we go. So we're in. Turn off the lights there. I was trying to call the elevator, so I thought. All right. So here's the elevator. We'll take the elevator down. All right, so this thing comes with the conveyance of an elevator. So if you've got luggage, my wife actually has her luggage in here. I told you guys she probably was loading up her luggage in the elevator. So if you've got luggage, you've got groceries, you've got bags, you can bring them in. So here's one of the bedrooms here. Right now, when we're buying properties like this, we like to come in and buy properties where we don't have to do a ton of work to them. We don't have to do a bunch of rehab. I don't like the fix and flip model. Not that there's anything against that, but that's just not my style, right? I want properties where I can come in, we can put some money into them, and we can immediately put them on the market. We don't have to play around with doing a bunch of work, and you know, you have the property off the market for weeks or months at a time. You know, I want something that we can just jump into right away. Right, so we come in, we buy properties that, number one, are in great locations. Great locations. Right, so here's another bedroom. We're buying properties that are in amazing locations. Locations that myself, my family enjoy. Like my wife and my children, they love the beach. They love the beach so much that I started to turn into a beach lover. That's the first thing. Number one, we're buying properties in locations that we enjoy. The second thing is we're buying properties that are already walkable. So what I mean by that is you can jump into these bad boys and you list them. So that's another bedroom there. Immediately, you start to see some of that cash flow that comes in. This is possible for anyone, guys. Super possible for anyone. This is the elevator as well here. All right, so here's another bedroom. And then here's another bathroom here. Right? So real estate is possible for anyone. You know, one of the biggest mistakes that I made before getting into real estate was thinking that it was too complicated. Thinking that I needed to have everything in order. Thinking that I needed to have more money than I actually needed. There's all types of mental stuff that takes place here. All right? And I'm telling you right now that whatever it is that you wish to accomplish, the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. Once you learn how to get past the mental stuff, that's the key. And not only do you have to deal with the mental stuff, but you also have to deal with, you know, people talking about, people that may be close to you. You might have to deal with the external stuff where, you know, you're used to maybe your parents or your friends or your relatives or your circle saying, well, you know, I don't need all that. You know, I'm a guy who, or I'm a gal who can do it very little. I don't need the material stuff. People will kill you with the material stuff, right? I say I'm not materialistic, and that's usually a cop-out. When I hear someone talk about, you know, I'm not a materialistic person, I don't need, you know, a bunch of money, I don't need a bunch of things, that's usually a cop-out. It's an excuse for them to live a very small, limited life. I'll tell you, as many of you guys may know, I have sickle cell anemia. And being able to have additional cash flows coming in, additional streams of income coming in, has allowed us for years to donate to the National Sickle Cell Anemia Society on a monthly basis. Couldn't do that without cash flow, right? Couldn't do that with limited income. Couldn't do that with some of the things that people will give you a hard time about wanting to have. So don't listen to people in their limited foolishness, right? You guys know that, some of you guys may know that my mom passed a couple of years ago. She had stage 4 colon cancer, and being able to be home with her, being able to be there, being able to help her pay for her medical needs and just help her to really enjoy a good time, a good life, was something that I couldn't do if I didn't have the cash flow, right? If I didn't have the freedom of time that digital real estate and physical real estate gives you, right? So again, don't let people put their limitations on you. Don't let people feed you their foolishness as to why they don't need to go the extra mile. Because you can come up with 1,000,001 reasons as to why you don't need to go the extra mile. But you can also come up with 1,000,001 reasons as to why you should go the extra mile, right? Wanting better for yourself, wanting better for your family, wanting better for your children. Being able to take care of those that truly mean something to you. Being able to donate and give to charities that truly mean something to you, right? So never let someone else's limitations play out in your life. And most importantly, don't let your own limitations play out in your life. Think about all of the stuff that you're keeping yourself away from simply because it was a norm for you. We're gonna take the elevator down. It was a norm for you to think a certain way because maybe you heard, you know, other people speak that way. We've got 3 buttons on here. 1, 2, 3. Maybe you heard your parents talk that way. Maybe you heard your brothers or sisters talk that way. Don't let your own limitations pile up and double up on top of other people's limitations for you, right? So again, as I said at the very beginning of this thing, the more you start to push yourself, the more you do things that are outside of your realm of normalcy, the easier it gets. Every time we buy a property, the process gets much simpler, it gets much easier. From everything from the financials, to dealing with the professionals, to finding the properties, to knowing what we're looking for, it gets extremely easy. It gets easier and easier and easier. But it took me years and years and years and years to buy that first one because, again, I overcomplicated the process in my head. All right? So I hope this video found you well. We'll see you on the next one. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you want to see more videos like this where I'm talking about some of the things that I do with the cash flow that comes in from digital real estate, the cash flow that comes in from Kindle publishing, and where that cash flow is going, because there's a lot of other things that I do, not only real estate and short-term rentals, but there's also cryptocurrency investing, right? There's also mutual fund investing. There's other things that go into play as well. There's also investing in yourself from the standpoint of personal development, right? There's investing in your business. So there's so many other things that you can do once you start off small and you take this Kindle publishing model that I show you and you put that income into other cash generating areas, right? So it's all about the cash flow, especially if you're concerned with interest rates, especially if you're concerned with a pending recession, especially if you're uncertain as to what your financial future looks like, right? I'll see you soon. Let me know if you want me to talk about any of that other stuff in the next video. Comment below.